Hi, my name is David, and I try to play guitar. I'm not very good, as you can tell. One day, I saw a video of blues great Joe Bonamassa getting very technical about his guitar amplifiers. For a guitar player, that guy really knows his stuff about amps. He inspired me to learn more. But to really understand guitar amps, you need to take them apart and put them back together. I watched hundreds of videos. I read all kinds of books. From Craigslist and eBay, I bought a used soldering iron, some old voltmeters, an ancient oscilloscope, and other test gear. Eventually, I built an entire electronics lab. Now, I guess I'm sort of an amp mechanic. I fix other electronics too, and this is my journey. I figured I'd share so others can learn too. I hope you like it, and just as a disclaimer, be sure to consult an expert before working with electricity.
Hi, Dave the Amp Mechanic, coming to you from my amp lab in Boston, Massachusetts. And this time I'm here with another video about making videos. A little bit of a break from fixing guitar amplifiers, radios, and all of my diagnostic gear. Now, I use two cameras to shoot my videos, both the videos here in the amp lab and also the videos in the little studio that I built just a few feet away for the videos that I shoot for my day job. Now, I use two cameras. One is the Sony NEX7. That's the one that's pointed at me and shooting me right now. It's an older generation mirrorless digital SLR camera. There are newer versions of it that are much better. Hopefully I'll upgrade one day, but right now this camera seems to do the job pretty well, with a few exceptions. For example, it overheats sometimes and just stops. And the other camera I use is a GoPro. This is the Hero Black 5. Or the Hero 5 Black, and it's actually a great little camera for shooting video. I decided though that the case that the GoPro comes in is a little difficult to work with. For example, you have to remove the door on the side of the camera in order to attach a microphone and continuous power supply to it. It's just tough to fiddle with. And I started looking at these other cases that are up on Amazon, like these aluminum alloy cases, and I decided maybe to take a chance and maybe buy one of those, also to protect the lens from getting scratched or anything. And so I bought this one from Puluz, P-U-L-U-Z, got the best reviews, and it has all sorts of features here that appeal to me. One of them is that little door that I had to remove from the GoPro in order to keep a microphone and power supply, continuous power supply connected. I don't have to remove that door anymore. I don't want to lose that little door because it's important, especially if you're going to take the GoPro underwater. And then it's got a whole bunch of other features. For example, it's got a shoe on top, so you can maybe connect a light or a microphone or anything else that can connect onto the shoe. It actually comes with a clear filter, but you can remove the filter and attach a different filter. It offers protection to the lens on the front of your GoPro, and it also, will mount onto a tripod in the same way that the regular GoPro case mounts to, with this little contraption that's connected to the bottom of the GoPro case. Well, as you can see, it's another snowy day in the Boston, Massachusetts area. It's the middle of March, and we're getting snow. It's supposed to be spring. This is what it's like when you live above the Arctic Circle. Beautiful though, right? So what I thought I would do for you is let's do a little unboxing video and see if this Puluz aluminum alloy protective cage, which I got on Amazon for $19, so it's pretty good value. Let's see if it lives up to the promise and the reviews that I read online. Okay, so here we have all the components that we need to give the new aluminum alloy protective cage a good test. Okay, now here's the GoPro. This is the Hero Black 5, and this is what I use sometimes to do my recordings. Now, this is an extra part, doesn't come with a GoPro, you have to buy it separately, but this comes in handy when you want to have an external microphone, which I often do. And the way that works is it's got a USB-C cable on it, or connector on it, and it plugs into this USB-C port that's on the side of the GoPro, and you're just going to go like that. And then on this side here, what you have is another USB-C port. You would plug your power cable into this. So here's my my power cable right here. That way you have continuous power. You plug that in right there, right? And then in addition, it's got this little jack here that you can plug your external microphone into this. It's 3.5 millimeter stereo jack, so you need a stereo microphone, or you can even plug a mono microphone in there. I've had pretty good luck with mono microphones, but that's kind of how that works. Now, one of the problems is that when you put the GoPro into the case that it comes with, the little cage that it comes with, let's go ahead and do that. If the door has to stay open on the side, the cover, there's like a little door here, and this is the door right here. If you have it on there, you have to have the door open in order for this to stay connected, right? And the problem is that when it's in this case here, let's go ahead and put the GoPro in the case. Oops. If you have to leave the door open, there's no way to open it the way this case is designed. So you have to pull the door off, which is relatively easy to do. I don't know if you can see maybe the little curves in there. And they snap on to a little bar that's on the inside of this opening right there. There you can see the bar, right? You have to pop the door off and risk losing the door in order to keep it inside this cage and use this special accessory for external continuous power and your microphone. Also on here I have a little tripod mounter. Okay, so I really was looking for a solution that would not only allow me not to keep this attached so I don't lose it, because I'm really worried I'm going to lose that little tiny part, but also I like the idea of having some sort of protection for the front of the GoPro. And so this is the box that the Puluz aluminum alloy protective cage comes in. As you can see, it says it's for the Hero 7, 6, or 5 black, so it fits all of the above. And let's go ahead and see what's inside here. So I'm going to move this one out of the way for now. Don't need that. Alright, comes in a nice little carrying pouch, and actually this is a nice pouch. This is not like one of those super cheap pouches that sometimes you get with gear. It's actually got a little bit of thickness to it, and a little bit of the branding on the front. Okay, we'll put that to the side for now. And let's see what we got here. We got a little bag of parts. So those will be the attachments that go on the top and the bottom, I guess. And there it is. You can see. I'm going to hold it up against the white background. I'll turn it around a little bit here. And it looks like this is a nice little cover. And it is. So I'll put that to the side here. Okay, and that's one of the things that was advertised, is that it had a filter that just kind of screwed on the same way filters screw onto any lens. So that's kind of nice. So you can change the filter. This is a nice clear filter. Now, some of the comments I read on Amazon said that this would be, they had trouble fitting the camera in there. And that, of course, had me a little bit worried. So let's see what happens now. I'm going to turn this over, and let's see what happens if we try to
stick the camera in there. Wow, that's nearly perfect. That's like a perfect fit. It's not even moving. That's terrific. And then I'm assuming that this is how you tighten it down in there. It's like a little thumb tightener. There we go. And there you can see the camera lens behind the filter here, so you're getting some protection. Now it's covering up this front display here, but almost nobody I know ever looks at that anyway, right? So I'm not too worried about that. You have access to the power on button for when you're powering up the camera without starting it at the same time. That's what this button does, right? Let's see. It looks like the shoe gets mounted up there, and the shoe is in the bag. So let's get this baggie open here. Get some screws and stuff. So that must mount on here somehow, because the shoe's going to go on the top like that. So we'll have to figure that out. I'm guessing that what you do is this large kind of flanged screw will go into that hole, and then you'll screw it down into one of those. And so that's really good, because you can use this to help place your microphone or a light that you might want to put on top of that. And let's see what else we've got here. This guy clearly would go on the bottom here like that, with these two little screws in order to secure that fitting there. And then from using that fitting, you can then attach all sorts of things like this to the bottom of it. Now, let's see the door, where the door goes. So there's the door right there, and they've done a really nice job, because it looks like if I just snap the door back on, let's see if I can do that while we're all sitting here. There it is, it's on. Bingo. How about that? So now the door is back where it belongs, and to open it, I just do that. And wow, it's open, and I can take my accessory and just plug it right in like that. I like that a lot. That is cool. All right, so now, let's unplug that. Let's close the door. And I'll put these other parts on, and we'll come back and take a look at it with those other parts on. Okay, so now I've got the aluminum alloy cage from Puluz on the GoPro, and I have all the parts assembled. So I've got the shoe attached to the top of the cage. Now there's a little tiny screw here, and my guess is that is for that takes an Allen key. I don't know if you can see that or not. And probably what you do is you tighten that down so that this doesn't swivel at all, especially under weight. So it's just another additional kind of fastener or tightener. And then I've also attached the fitting on the bottom, so I can put my tripod mount onto this. So there you go. It kind of, that's how the tripod mount would go onto this case. And again, all the buttons are good. We can just pop that, and maybe what I might do is I might switch the direction of the knob here so that it doesn't. Here, let's just do that really quick. That's one thing you probably might, if you get one of these, you'll want to do it this way. That way it doesn't interfere with your access to that door. So let's go ahead and just do this real quick. There we go. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. So now it's on the other side, and I can just go like that,
and open the door. Perfect. Now, the other thing that this has, you'll see some threaded holes all around the cage, which means that it gives you the opportunity to maybe attach other things like a cheese plate or something like that, tripod cheese plate, to the bottom of this. You might be able to attach something to the side, for example, anything that takes the little, I believe it's probably 1/4 inch threading there, and there's all sorts of attachments that come with tripods for hooking up microphones and lights and whatnot, maybe something to like a cable holder, so that those additional threaded holes come in very handy, right? And then also I noticed that there's a little opening here, and that's where the light, particularly when you're charging the GoPro camera, it'll shine red through there. So they even thought about that. So hey, look, for $19, I actually think this is terrific. Now, one other criticism I read, which is something to be aware of, and I don't know for sure, is that if you put the camera into 4K mode and you get that really kind of super wide view that the GoPros are so good at, you might see a little bit of a halo from the filter here. Now, I don't know if maybe you take the filter off, that'll probably go away, right? Because I'm trying to look at how, is the threaded opening here, is it coming out enough for the camera to catch it in its peripheral vision? Maybe it's just when you have the filter on. But for me, when I read that criticism, I was like, I never shoot in the super wide view, and even if I do, I'm going to crop it down. If I'm shooting in 4K, I'm going to crop it anyway. So that's just something to think about. As I don't know how important that super wide 4K view is to you, but it's certainly worth looking into and thinking about before you buy one of these, if that is important to you. So that's it. The $19 Puluz aluminum alloy cage comes with your shoe. For other attachments, threaded holes, easy access to this door, the accessory door here, even the ability to attach filters. This is actually quite good. So I'm very happy with this purchase. So if you like the video or if you like the product, you can go up to Amazon and grab one.